Buying a new computer, it might not be just your decision.
Outside factors certainly play a role, specifically operating systems. So when is the right time to buy a new computer?
Here to compute this, Thor Schrock from Schrock Innovations. Good to see you,
Hello,
Thor.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
I was telling you not too long, I've got a computer that was built, I bought it in 1997, right? I'm serious, I still use this thing, but it's got some problems. How do you know when you need to start looking for a new computer?
Let me think about this, because we were in business in 1997.
I was
so
a junior in high school.
in 1997, no, we weren't. We started business in 1999, so that would be like a Pentium 2.
Yeah, it doesn't work, it barely works.
Wow, you're rocking
It's
the 122
boy,
megahertz there.
It's a 20-year-old computer.
This is an extreme example, I hope, but for everybody
Yes.
else who maybe
I
they've
don't
got a
use it.
computer
I don't
that
use it anymore. I'm
that
just
some
kidding about
people
that
have a
part.
computer that's like 3 or 4 years old
Yeah.
and it's not
Or
running
even
as
10
well as
years
it
old.
did.
Yeah, see, here the thing with computers, when customers come into our shop and say, "Hey, Thor, I've got this old computer," like we do a maintenance sale from time to time, and sometimes people just bring in absolute dogs. Like, "Can you get this thing to run faster?" And you're just like, "It's running Windows 3.1 or Windows Millennium." No, we can't. This thing needs to go to the happy hunting ground. Get rid of it. So basically, what we tell our customers is there's two rationales for upgrading. It used to be that you had to upgrade every few years because the new software would come out and your computer wouldn't run it, and so you'd have to get a new computer. But now computers are so fast that the software that's available out there, any computer can run it. And so, it used to be how many megahertz or how many gigahertz did you have? That's why I said, "Hey, how you rocking that 120 megahertz computer, man?" That was back in the day when the difference between a 120 megahertz computer and a 400 megahertz Pentium 2 was mind-bogglingly fast. Now the cell phones that we all have in our pockets are just as fast as the computer Schrock was building 5 years ago.
Wow.
Wow.
Just 5 years
Just
ago.
5 years ago.
So what you're saying about, like you mentioned like Windows 3.1 or something like that, but I mean, we've talked to you over the last few years about something like Windows XP, for
Yes.
example. So where are we at with something like that,
Yep.
and then what computers are capable of running
So I
today?
mentioned there's a couple of reasons why people usually upgrade. One of them is the computer doesn't do what you want it to do anymore. So like with Mike's 20-year-old computer, he's trying to play, I don't know, Candy Crush on it,
Right.
and it won't play it because it's too slow. Something like that. You're gonna need to buy a new computer. That's one reason. The other reason though is obsolescence due to security. So you mentioned Windows XP. Windows XP is a dead operating system. There have not been any security updates for XP for over 2 years, and there are dozens and dozens and dozens of vulnerabilities in Windows XP that you can't even get good antivirus for XP anymore. You can still run Secure Updater on XP, but it can't even update everything because the newest versions of Adobe and Flash don't run on XP. But Vista is actually coming up for expiration next year.
Great point. So if you have Windows Vista, you need to really pay attention to what you're about to say.
The clock is ticking. You need to start thinking about that upgrade. You need to start maybe saving some pennies, putting the change jar together, because by next year you're going to have to buy a new computer because most Windows Vista computers will not, there's no upgrade path to Windows 10, but if you just wipe it and install Windows 10, most of them don't have the graphics cards that are capable of running Windows 10.
So can some computers then be upgraded to run Windows 10?
Most Windows 7 computers can.
Okay.
Of course, Windows 8 computers, almost all of them can. But it's the Windows Vista computers that some people are still hanging on to, that, I only use it for internet, email, I don't use it for much. And then the trouble is, the longer you wait to do an upgrade, so right now if you go from Vista, you missed 7, you missed 8, and now you're on 10. And the whole world moved while you were sitting back there on Windows Vista. So now people are putting off the upgrade because, my TurboTax won't work on Windows 10. I'll have to buy a new version of this and a new version of QuickBooks and a new version of that. If you wait, 12 years to upgrade your computer, there's going to be some pain in that. And then the associated cost with upgrading, a lot of people don't consider, if your computer is broken and it works the way you want it to work, keep using it, fix it, because when you buy a new computer, you got to move your data, you got to install your programs. There's a lot of time and expense that go into something like that.
That's what I wanted to ask you next. When you make that decision to maybe jump to Windows 10, if you're on Vista, for example, or 7, what are some of the biggest challenges that people face in migrating all that data, whether it's pictures, music, whatever it is, files, to the new PC?
Yeah, well, when we sell a computer, we offer a migration service where we'll migrate everything for you, and the pictures go to the pictures folder, and the emails go in the emails, and we'll set up your email account. We'll even come to your house and set up your printers and everything if you want us to.
Nice.
So that you don't have to mess with any of it. But probably the biggest challenge people have is, you remember that Office 2013 that you installed, 9 years ago or whatever? Where's the code?
Yeah, it's
when
on,
you
it's
get
on the
your new
back of
com-
the sleeve, right?
It's on the
But you
sleeve for
threw
the
the
disc.
Now,
sleeve
where's the
away when you
sleeve?
were
Where's the
cleaning.
sleeve? Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of the things that we have customers, they'll come in and they'll bring in their old computer for a data transfer, and we'll actually have to programmatically lift the codes out of their current installation so we can install it on the new computer, because
Yeah.
the disks are everywhere. The disks aren't important. It's the codes that matter.
Yeah.
And most people don't have the codes, and that's the biggest challenge a lot of people have.
Can you, in 1 minute, make the case for upgrading to a modular PC, as we're talking about upgrading and staying current without buying everything all over again every 2 years? How does a modular PC fit into the picture?
Well, let's take a Vista computer, for example, because we just got done saying that those are going to have to pretty much be thrown away, right? If you had a modular computer that was built by Schrock, a modular computer is designed to be upgraded. Everything in that computer was over-spec'd when it was built, so it would actually hang with the current computers on the market, programmatically speaking. Now, the reason why you're going to throw your HP away, but not your modular computer running Vista, is because we thought ahead with the modular computer and said graphics are going to change. Let's put a port in there so we can add a $50 graphics card. It doesn't have to be rocket science, just something that'll allow Windows 10 to install. And we've sold a lot of graphics cards in the last 6-8 months for people moving from Vista to Windows 10, because that's the only component they had to upgrade. And instead of buying a $500 computer, they got
spent
away
50
for 50
bucks
bucks.
and
well-
got whatever fix they needed.
Exactly.
It's time to make some of those decisions. Schrock Innovations, they got 3 locations, 2 in the metro, 1 down in Lincoln as well.
Yep, great turnaround times right
SchrockInnovations.com.
now. It's so nice out that people aren't in front of their computers, they're not breaking them.
Right.
So very
to
good
know.
turnaround
The
times.
service centers there in all 3 sites. Thank you, Thor.
Thanks, guys.
Didn't know if you knew this, but today it's National